When Israel issues an evacuation order to the Palestinians to move from one place to another, many people in the West may think that they're gonna provide them with air-conditioned buses, they're gonna assist them with this move, their house will be safe, they will find a nice, comfortable place where to stay with individual, decent bathrooms. They're gonna provide them with food, water, they will have electricity and all the comfort, and wait for the combats to finish so they return back home. They don't know that an evacuation order means automatically that the house will be destroyed, and that it's just the beginning, that it's just one of the orders, and dozens of others will follow, and those who will evacuate will do this over and over and over again. An evacuation order just looks like this.
Where to run, where's safe? Gunshots ring out. Children scream in terror. There's chaos, panic. Help us, God, help us, O Arabs, he screams.
This is my grandson. I don't know where his mother is. He's just 20 days old. What can I do with him now? Where can I go with him? Where can I find his mother and father? Please tell me where to search. We're tired. We can't cope anymore.
The stream of people fleeing looks endless. Close to 500,000 Gazans ordered to leave their already destroyed homes by the Israeli army as they launch a fresh assault on Khan Younis, accusing Hamas of firing rockets from the area. A brother pulls along his sister, too weak to walk. Little legs struggle to keep up in the heat. An elderly woman sits down on the side of the road. Is it better to die here than keep on running and running? Amongst the crowd, 3 young siblings. We saw many people who were dead in front of us. Their stomachs were cut open, he says. We don't know where our parents are now. Are we in a safe place now, one asks. Thank God, he sighs. But where to go now? The so-called humanitarian zone Israel has told them to flee to has been repeatedly targeted too. Practically Gaza's entire population has been displaced, time and time again. This is the fate of those who couldn't escape in time. Patients sprawled on the floor of an overwhelmed hospital. Helpless parents look on. Outside in the courtyard, the grief is too much to bear. Bodies taken away to be buried.
How can the world allow this to happen? How can we allow this thing named Israel to order the evacuation of the whole population of Gaza? Every single individual in Gaza was almost evacuated. Did evacuated at least 3 or 4 or 5 times. They were ordered to evacuate the north to the south, and then they told them to evacuate from the south to the beach, and then to Deir al-Balah, and then from Deir al-Balah no, it's a combat zone. They declare a place as a combat zone. They say that they do this to put people out of harm's ways. Of course they say this. Do you want them to say, oh, we are doing this because we are performing an ethnic cleansing? Of course they are not going to do this. Any first year journalism student can figure out that it's not true. They're forcibly displacing people. This is just sick and crazy. This crime is so horrendous, displacing people from their homes. If they were displaced by themselves, if they decided to leave to avoid the crossfire, I would understand. These things happen in all wars. Then let people decide whether they leave or not. But you force them, displace or we bomb your house, displace or we kill you. This never happened before. They want to ethnically cleanse areas in Gaza, especially the north. The proof is that shooting dead every single one returning back to the north.
Back in Khan Younis, Palestinian anger is at times directed at Hamas too. But it's Israeli bombs they're fleeing from. And who can tell Gaza's children when their suffering will end?
We saw this. Hind Rajab family was killed because the car was going back, because they found that the road to the south was blocked. So they made a U-turn and they turned back. They decided to return back to the north and to evacuate another day. They were just killed in cold blood. The tank who shot 300 bullets was only 12 meters away. The operators could see there were civilians and kids inside that car. They are making ethnic cleansing. They are saying to the world, to the naives, oh, we are evacuating people to put them out of harm's ways. And you can some pseudo-journalists like Morgan Pierce who repeat the lies. Can you imagine a family who spent 10 years to build a house, who is ordered to evacuate, and of course they will bomb the house with all its belongings, all its furniture and souvenirs and pictures and albums, and everything is bombed, and the family goes somewhere to relatives, and while they are there they are ordered to evacuate again. So they evacuate along with the relatives, and when they run out of relatives and out of houses, they use a tent in camps with leaking sewage everywhere, with no drinking water, with scorching heat, with no sanitation, and then they are ordered to evacuate over and over and over again. This is an evil torture to people. And you can see many people in the West justifying this. They should not start October 7th. What do you expect from people under a siege, under occupation, in a concentration camp? What do you expect from them? They have to attack back. Oh, you say me that they attacked civilians. No, this is a lie. From hundreds of hours of videos from GoPros and CCTVs, they could gather only 10 crimes. Some of the militants committed crimes. This is so clear. They put them in 40 minutes video. I mean, no, maybe some of them were Israeli agents disguised as Hamas fighters. So among 1,200 killed, the cameras could capture only 10 crimes. It's weird. An investigation is very welcome. What about the ratio of the children killed in October 7th? 3% of those killed in October 7th are children. Does it mean anything to you? 3%? For me, it means one thing, that the attacks were targeting a specific category. The attacks were not just random massacres. Among those 36 kids tragically killed in October 7th, 10 were killed by the first barrage launched by the factions to divert. So it was not execution. It was indiscriminate bombing, yes, but it was not an execution. And the Hannibal Directive, I think the Hannibal Directive killed most of the remaining children, because Israel admitted finding 200 bodies of Hamas fighters so badly burned so they could not be distinguished from Israelis. It means that the Israelis burned these fighters in the houses along with the Israeli families. The official count talks about 3 kids killed in cars that did not stop. Yeah, Hamas were making checkpoints as any occupation force. The Americans were making checkpoints in Iraq. They were shooting on cars that refused to stop. We saw Hamas shooting on cars that refused to stop. It's a crime, but it's not execution. Like they want you to believe, to justify this genocide. There will be an investigation, believe me, and it will be made by the Israelis about what really happened in October 7th, and you will be shocked that the vast majority of the civilians were killed by the Israelis.